All right, guys. Quick update video because I have not posted in a little while. I am wearing my trademark sunglasses. I'm just doing that for fun. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it every time. I wanted to share that I finally am the proud owner of a PlayStation 5. I mentioned in my initial videos that it was something that I was going to be working towards this year. I had planned to save up over the course of the year and maybe towards my birthday, which is at the end of the summer, pick one up. And for various reasons, because it went on sale and my cousin, who's the coolest person in the world, was planning on contributing to my PlayStation fund, so they just sent me a big chunk of money. Happy Easter, I guess. So I got the PlayStation 5 last month, and I have been pretty much playing Street Fighter 6 nonstop since I got it. I'm going to have a lot to say about these games coming off of only gaming on a Nintendo Switch for the past 6 years. So I'm planning to make a video about my initial thoughts, comparisons, lots of new experiences for me. For those of you who are interested, a friend of mine through the Nintendo Dads podcast has his own podcast called PlayStation Daily. So he had me on a recent episode to talk about my first week experience with the PlayStation 5. He had a lot of great questions. It's a really short 30-minute episode. You should definitely check out the PlayStation Daily podcast if you're interested in PlayStation, and I'll put a link to the episode that I was on. John's a really great interviewer, and he's much more polished than I am. So nice, concise 30-minute episode, hopefully kind of entertaining and informative for anybody who might be looking to either make the switch to PlayStation from another ecosystem or just get back into gaming. I also want to make a video just about Street Fighter, because Street Fighter, I mentioned in my, how I fell in love with video games, that it was one of the big ones for me as a kid, and Street Fighter 6 is the main reason that I decided, okay, I'm finally getting a PlayStation. So I've been playing a lot of that. I have a lot to say about the first player content, as well as the multiplayer and just everything else. Also, to follow up my 4 principles of being financially responsible, I'll probably talk a little bit about PS Plus, the various tiers that they offer, the one that I decided to go with, what the benefits are, and kind of tie that into that topic of, how are you going to get the most bang for your buck, depending on what type of gamer you are. Something that actually didn't come up in my video about financial responsibility and the 4 principles that I mentioned. That was all around buying games, selling games, waiting for sales, that kind of thing. How does a subscription model where there's a lot of free games available to play, how does that fit in there? So I'll probably talk about that. You may have seen that I have been posting clips of my gaming. I've just been having a little bit of fun with that. I'm mostly doing it just as a place to save some videos that I take of my achievements and things like that. And then one other thing that I do want to do as well is I've already noticed some challenges with the PlayStation versus Nintendo when it comes to playing video games as a family and even just finding games that you can play with your kids. Obviously, a game like Ghost of Tsushima, you can turn the blood off, so that's something that you can play with the kids around, but it's also a one-player game, right? Actually, it's been a little bit of a challenge to find good 2-player games, let alone 3, 4, 5-player games that you can play together as a family with kids. So I'm going to be really on a hunt for those. That's probably the one area where I'll be doing some research, so that I can actually make a video that might be helpful to people. Probably not going to be doing a lot of gameplay and tips and tricks and that kind of thing, because there's just a million other channels already on YouTube that are going to do that better than me. But when it comes to that, hey, I'm a parent, I've got 1 or 2 kids and they're younger, what can I do with them on a PlayStation, or what games are appropriate for them at their ages on PlayStation versus Nintendo? I feel like Nintendo, it was pretty easy. You don't have to make a lot of videos on that. All of Nintendo's first-party games pretty much fill that niche. But PlayStation, it's a little bit harder. I'm really excited to have the PlayStation. If you want to hear all of my initial excitement and thoughts now, just check out that PlayStation Daily podcast episode. Hopefully, I will see you guys again soon.